guys, it's Sailor Lyoko for Life here, and Handy Nanny Notes. We are on episode 4 of season 2. All right, for Fate. As normal, if you want to make the video, wiggling in my seat, the video 1.25 speed, so I sound like a chipmunk, and then you can get through the amber faster. Good on you. All right, so spoiler alert, of course, spoilers. I'm going to spoil the whole episode. The main part of the episode is everyone goes to get to the pub. Conversations are had and things. They want to have some fun. Stella's stuck in the Althea in the school, obviously, because of that gem thing on her back. And and Beatrix, because Stella is missing Beatrix, so she's been calling her and stuff, and then a text comes to her with a picture saying she needs help. And Bloom knows it's a trap, but some of them go anyways, and the rest go back to the school, and then Bloom figures out what's happening, and she goes to face the real villain. Anyways, the end of the episode. We're gonna get to that. So that's the gist. Rosalind goes off to the capital to meet up with people about the Blood Witches and everything. I find out Rosalind later on in the episode does not know. She actually is not the one responsible for the, what are they called? Scrapers, those evil creatures that are stealing their magic. So she actually does not know where Beatrix is. She just doesn't want the student body to know that Beatrix is missing. So she told them that that Beatrix is out on a mission for her, a secret mission, but she's actually been kidnapped and attacked by those things. So Rosalind trusts Bloom with this information to not start a panic or anything. And so that's why Bloom's able to tell them it's a trap. They're not too happy Bloom's been keeping it from them. But they're able to be more cautious then, at least, going into it knowing it's possibly a trap. So that's good. Anyways, now we'll actually go to the notes. In the beginning of the episode, Andreas wants to look for Beatrix, and it's been 3 days she's been missing, and he's really, really worried. He's even taking out on other people, even though they don't know she's missing, because he's being more rough in trainings and stuff. And Bloom then knows she's missing and knows why Andreas is being so awful, extra awful, but she doesn't tell Sky because she was told by Rosalind not to tell anyone, and she understood why, to not stir a panic, until later when the text comes and everything. Andreas, Rosalind does tell him that he wasn't supposed to get attached to Beatrix. This is why, because people can manipulate him then. Through that, getting attached to Beatrix as his daughter. And he does say, she's my daughter. She's like, she's supposed to be your ward, not daughter. And not to get that emotionally attached to her, but he cares about her more than he cares about Sky. Like, seriously. He is going out of his mind trying to find Beatrix. He is worried. Like, he even knocks out this Marco, who is one of the specialists, and gets in contact with someone saying that he'll trade this specialist for his daughter back, for Beatrix, because he really does care and love her, and care about her, and is super worried. And then the person he thought was a Blood Witch, he threatens, and actually that person's being controlled by a Blood Witch. And then Andreas gets controlled as well. So he's now kidnapped by the Blood Witch, which later, for the trap, sets the trap, that Andreas has to fight Sky and Riven, who are just trying to save Musa. Or not, Musa's with them. it's Sky, Riven, and Musa and Silver that go to the to go save Beatrix, and Beatrice is knocked out. So it's like, yeah, this is a trap because she couldn't have sent the text then. And they find out apparently Andreas knew the Blood Witch that's controlling him, which means there's someone who is in the school that knows. That is the Blood Witch has infiltrated the school then, and was at the banquet last episode and everything. So yeah, Bloom, it dawns on her, oh my god, she knows who it is. Someone who also hates Andreas. But yeah. At first I thought Andreas killed that kid. Oh no, I actually don't know if he did or not, just to trade him for his daughter. Anyways, the Dominions War is mentioned. Rosalind mentions that to Bloom, and that's the last time the Dragon's Flame was seen, which was like thousands of years ago. So possibly the War on Domino with the witches and everything, you know, the Grand Witches. Maybe, you know, maybe that's referring to, or if you know it from the 4Kids version, Spikes. Domino, where Bloom is from. But, you know, it's just the Dominion War. So, you know, maybe that's reference. Close enough word? I don't know. I'm trying to find connections. But yeah, all the kids are staring at Bloom in school and stuff, and she's back to being most important. You know, now she's really in the fame she doesn't want yet again. Yeah. Yeah. And even the Winx girls, even though they don't call themselves Winx yet, say, or do they? Did they say that last season? I can't remember. I'd have to rewatch my videos. They haven't said the word again since, so I don't remember. Even Aisha and the girls directly call Rosalind shady. Shady Rosalind. So I'm like, Shady Fargunda to Shady Rosalind. They agree with me. I love when the characters and me agree. Oh, it's funny. So yeah, the creatures are scrapers. Stella misses Beatrix. She keeps calling her, leave her voicemails and texting her, trying to look for her whiskey, and she's really worried about her. And that's why when she gets the text, she wants them to go after her. And she couldn't just go because she hasn't told them about the gem that's keeping her in Althea on her back. She does once they come back. She tells them she literally can't leave. She couldn't have gone to the pub if she wanted to. She was just using being princess as an excuse. But yeah, she tells them about it and shows it to them. And then they feel really bad. She's like, yeah, but I didn't tell you because I didn't want those looks from you. Which makes sense, you know, the pity. But yeah, Stella really cares about Beatrix. She has her in her own bed. In Stella's bed, she has them put her in her bed so she can watch over her until she wakes up and be there for her when she wakes up. Because she'll figure out she no longer has her magic. Beatrix doesn't have her magic anymore. But she's panicked when she wakes up, understandably. Been passed out for a couple days and kidnapped. And has gone through a lot. The girls go to the pub. Tara talks to Riven about how he ruins people and stuff. And she's trying to get Flora and Riven not to be a thing. Which they are definitely trying. I mean, Flora even later comes outside, like, is this the part where the guy gives the girl a hit? Asking for a hit of whatever he's smoking and things. He's like, nah, even if I did, the friends would hear about it and I'll get drama and shit from that too, you know? And then she figures that, you know, there is something going on between Tara and Riven, and the reasons Tara doesn't want her anywhere near Riven. And later that comes into a discussion between Flora and Tara, kind of breaking the relationship, their friendship. And then even later, ooh, okay, so this is juicy. So even later on then, Flora is telling her that she's kissed Riven before, years ago, when they were drunk. And then she got sick. So, like vomited in her hand right after that. So, and ever since then, a Cold War started between them. And then with the Dave thing and stuff. So she liked Riven, didn't work out. Like Dave didn't work out. And then she's like, I think the reason I always thought the problem was them. But I think the problem is me. And then she's like, I pick shitty guys because I think I'm just not into guys. And so she comes out, she's like, I think I might be gay. She comes out to Flora, and Flora's so accepting of her. She's like, she thinks she likes girls, but obviously it hasn't really shown that much. So, but she's really just jealous that Flora is so comfortable in her own skin. And that, that was the reason for all the little bit of drama there and stuff, was she's jealous of Flora being comfortable in her own skin and so confident in herself. And, but Flora's so accepting. And, that was earlier in the conversation. And Flora's so accepting and so wonderful about Tara. And it's great. I'm very happy. I'm excited about that. Just to have, because they're not making it all like, when they do LGBTQ plus, sometimes they overdo it. They make too much focus on it, when really it needs to just be normalized as like normal. Not overdone, over focused on, to just make it normal. I mean, they didn't bat an eye about Riven being sleeping with Beatrix and Dave and the threesome and stuff and things. So it's like, and then, Tara, they haven't like made her all pride and everything, because it's just a part of life. It's normal. It's okay. You don't have to be gung-ho, everything rainbow, just because you're in the community. It's totally fine. Like, you can just be you, and it's just a part of who you are. It's not that big of a deal. So it's really awesome to have a little bit of representation there, but also just like normalized representation. It's okay. And Flora was perfect. And she was honestly probably the perfect person to come out too, honestly. So yeah, she's awesome. Yeah. So in case you didn't know that I'm in the community as well, I go to Pride festivals and stuff, but you don't have to. Some people aren't comfortable with that, and that is okay. It's just part of who they are and who you are, and you don't have to necessarily be all pride, if you're gay or anything. You don't have to be. You do you. Just be yourself and do what makes you comfortable. That's all that matters. And so anyways, I'm putting too much focus on it now, so I will move on to the episode. Musa and Dave. Musa gives Dave some really good advice at the pub, and that is really cool. I'm like, oh hey, that's nice. And it's good advice too. So, that was a nice little scene. And I continued to call the boy Pool Boy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I legitimately do not remember his name, and no one says his name, so I don't remember. So guys, come on. Say the man's name. Anyways, him and Aisha leave the pub. He takes her to like this really cool clearing that's like a little river with the rocks and stuff, and they kind of lay on the rocks while the water goes through it. Goes under them and stuff, and it's really cool, and they reminisce and just do nothing and reminisce and talk while laying there on the rocks with the water and stuff, and look in the sky and just talk, and do nothing and talk. And it's really nice for Aisha to have that calming time, to just not think about much and, just do nothing and chill, to really chill. Yeah, it's really nice for her. He's such a good person with that, and a good balance to Aisha. Um, and like apparently he has water magic, which is the reason he likes to swim just like Aisha does. And they're so cute together. They are. He like makes the water glow. He's like, oh, they're just basically just bugs that make it glow, the algae and stuff in it. Well, he didn't say algae, but and they're really cutesy and stuff. And they finally kiss, and when they really kiss, like all the water around them starts floating around them literally magically, because they're both water users, and and some of it glows even a little. It is so cute. Oh my gosh, it's so romantic. I love it. Do do do. So, okay, so they fight, Musa, Riven, Sky, and Silver hangs back in case they need backup. Musa gets cornered because, Sky and Riven are fighting Andreas, who's being controlled by the Blood Witch. And Musa is bitten by one of those scraper things, the dark creatures, and it starts taking some of her magic and interferes with her magic. And she's like freaking out. She calls the girls and stuff. And that's how Bloom suddenly figures out who the Blood Witch is. Because they need to stop Andreas. And Musa's not going back in there. She's terrifying. Her magic's freaking out, and it's terrifying for her. And so Bloom knows they need to stop the Blood Witch in order to break the connection, to stop controlling Andreas. They tell Silver to go in to help them, so he goes in to help. Unfortunately, even when Bloom confronts the Blood Witch and breaks the control for a second, it's not enough. We don't know this until the very end of the episode, like the very end. But during his few seconds of consciousness, he tells Sky to do it. Do what needs to be done. And to save them, Sky does. He kills his father, Andreas. So King Andreas is dead, officially, this time, really. Sky had to kill his own father, and no one knew that until they told them back at the school, and they reconvened. And it is heart-wrenching, and Bloom, of course, being the supportive girlfriend she is, holds him while he cries, and, it was very, we didn't know that yet. And then, earlier, so earlier on, it was the only way to save everyone, though, because Andreas was just too strong. And the Blood Witch's hold on him was too strong. So, who is the Blood Witch? Who on earth knows Andreas, hates him, and was at the banquet? Bloom figures out it's Sebastian, the guy who Silver was bunking with and helping them with all the information about the creatures and everything, helping them this entire season. Their friend, Sebastian, he's been giving them their text on things and stuff. Like, he's been helping them with all of this translation stuff and things. Like, yeah, he's the Blood Witch. Bloom goes to confront him on her own. And apparently she knows that, apparently it's a fact that Blood Witches don't can't control fairies. Oh, by the way, I might have missed that part. I might not have mentioned earlier on they're going through the history about blood witches and stuff and what they know, and that because of pop quiz about it and stuff, and while Bloom and Aisha are going over the notes, is, blood witches can control people's blood. So basically, if you're Avatar, the Last Airbender fan, you'll recognize it as bloodbending. Essentially, that's what it is. Except for also the mind, not just the body. So yeah. 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 Controlling people, literally. So, bloodbending. It's Avatar. An Avatar reference. Does that make sense why they're called blood witches? But Sebastian is one. And Bloom, like, transforms and stuff. He's like, I know you're a powerful fairy. Like, it's not, he knows he can't control her because she states, because she's not in danger because he can't control fairies. Blood witches can't control fairies. So she transforms with her cool wings and stuff. But he pulls a Valtor on her. I'm trying to decide what villain he represents in the Winx world. Which of the three, Avalon, Darkar, or Valtor? But she de-transforms and lets the wings go when he says, he doesn't want to fight her. He actually has all the answers. He's been watching her since she was a baby in the first world, in the human world. He's been watching her whole life. What sports she played, what things she liked, what her 4th birthday was like. Like, he's been watching her whole life. And yeah, she didn't know that, but he also knows. So he knows everything about her, who her adoptive parents are, and also who her birth parents are. And yeah, he says he knows everything about her past, everything, and he doesn't want to fight her. He wants her to join him. And he can tell her all the answers that she wants. Give her all the answers she's been asking if she joins him. Yeah. I'm actually not sure if she was tempted for a second to take that offer. It was very enticing. But Aisha then creates a water barrier between them, so he isn't walking around. So the villainous slow walk around. Join me. He was asking her to join him, and everything, and she can have all the answers she's been looking for. So yeah, but Aisha got there in time, and barricade them from each other. But she doesn't question if Bloom was even tempted. I don't know if she was just playing him to act like she was tempted. I don't know. I mean, I understand. She was. She thought about it for at least a second. But yeah. So Aisha and her creates a barricade, and then they try to go after him, and he's gone. So apparently there was, to the first world, he had a portal, apparently. And yeah. And they tell Rosalind that when they get back to the school, and Rosalind's back to the school, and yeah, and she's like, well, of all the fuck-ups, at least it's a minor one. Take the win. Yeah. Yeah, and they're just like, they're not even in trouble now. Yeah, I'm starting to believe Rosalind a little bit more now, even though I'm still weary of her, of course, but And then Sky tells her about killing his father, having to kill his father. And the very ending scene, right after Sky tells her that and things, suddenly Riven comes in screaming for help. Screaming for help. Musa's unconscious in his arms covered in blood. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, good reason to be screaming. So maybe we will get Riven Musa still. I don't know. It was quite the ride. Um, that has been quite the ride. So yeah, that's that for the episode. We, of course, are left on a cliffhanger, but they have Beatrix back. Musa's unconscious and been attacked by the thing. Flora thinks she's not going to fully lose her magic, only for a bit, but considering everything, that ending, I don't know if she's going to be okay. And Beatrix is back, but she has no magic. And Beatrix doesn't even know Andreas is dead yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That's bad. Oh, the poor thing. But at least Stella is really her friend, and she does care. At least we know she has someone to lean on. But yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, and that was episode 4 of season 2. Yeah, can't wait for the next one. Man, the show is so good. All right, so that is the review. I liked it. Obviously, it was a really good episode. Season 2 is going good. I really like it. It is differences. I'm wondering if the Blood Witches, like Sebastian, is referring to Avalon, Darkar, or Valtor even. Because there are 3 villains that you could, I mean, Avalon was Darkar's puppet, but still, you know, trying to get Balloon. Yeah, so I'm also wondering if Daphne's going to come into things. How they're going to play that up, because that was first season stuff. But, you know, they're doing their own thing, so I don't know. Maybe Sebastian is like one of the Grand Witches or something. Ancestral witches. That the tricks, maybe the tricks are coming into play. I don't know. Speculation. Let me know what you thought. I mean, you don't obviously have to, but you know, thoughts are appreciated. Let's have some discussions going on down in the comments. That'd be cool. Anyways, that's that. This has been Silly Lyoko for Life, and I'm signing off. I will see you guys next episode review. Bye!